What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show. We discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date here. Also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. First, we'll start with some breaking news. I don't normally cover this type, but it literally just happened here. I know it's kind of sad, really sad. Check this out. 14 students and one teacher are dead in a shooting at a Texas elementary school. And yeah, really sad news here. And really we're just seeing this type of incident happen all too much here. And this actually happens as there's set to be a U.S. domestic terrorism vote here in the Senate here this week. The shooter was fatally wounded by law enforcement. Yeah, really sad. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody, family involved. Yeah, unbelievable. This comes as a Democratic senator here tests positive with the virus here and complicates a 50-50 Senate as they set to vote here this week. Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley from Oregon said Monday that he had tested positive for the virus, an announcement that could throw a wrench in Democrats' agenda this week in an evenly divided Senate. And they're expected to hold a preliminary vote this week on a hotly contested domestic terrorism bill that passed the House last week in a mainly party line vote, and Senate Republicans have vowed to block it and would need 10 Republican votes to pass the bill. 3 other Democratic representatives from the House also tested positive over the weekend. It just goes to show you here with new virus cases really starting to spike up yet again. Yesterday's new case is 133,000 people testing positive. And those are only people that have gone to an official testing facility. Remember how many millions and millions of people now have the at-home test kits. If you just take an at-home test kit, well, nobody knows that you have taken that test or what the results are. So who knows how many real cases there are. So you really got to take that into consideration. Also, a reminder here that you can, well, I'll show you this here as well, in case you didn't know this. We have just passed 1 million deaths in the United States from the virus. Yeah, sobering fact here. But if you go to COVID tests with an S, tests.gov, covidtest.gov, you can get a 3rd round of free at-home test kits. So you literally just go to covidtest.gov, you click order your free test kits, you put in your name and address, and you click checkout. No credit card, anything necessary. You can get a 3rd round now. You can order 8 free test kits. You definitely don't want to go to Walmart or CVS and pay $25.99 for a test kit. You can get them free right on that website. So remember to do that. And as you can see here, new virus cases in California and all across the country are rising fast. You can see here some regions seeing infections double. So yeah, I know people want this virus to go away, but, well, viruses don't necessarily go away just because we want them to. Think about the flu virus has been around pretty much for as long as we can remember. So I'll keep you up to date. Also, the inflation virus really sounds like it should be a virus, right? Seems like that's going to probably maybe be around for longer as well. But we'll save that for another video because we're going to talk about several states that are giving back money to their residents, stimulus checks, tax rebate checks, or considering them. Multiple different states. If you've been watching my channel here, you know this. I'm trying to cover as many states as possible. Income tax rebate checks or stimulus checks remain for a South Carolina legislature. Check this out. While South Carolina's regular legislative session ended Thursday for the time being, several pieces of legislation are still in the works, including an income tax rebate proposal, along with a bill to create educational savings accounts. Those bills reached the point of conference committee and could be ready when the legislature resumes in special session between June 15th, June 17th, and June 28th through the 30th for follow-up votes. The $1 billion income tax rate cut bill was set for conference committee after both House and Senate refused to agree on either version Thursday. Like I said, a lot of this is give and take between House and Senate, states, and Democrats, Republicans on states. But the House version would cut the state's top tax rate from 7% to 6.5% for the 2022 tax year, and then lower the top rate by 0.1 percentage point each year, starting in 2023 until it reaches 6%. It would then combine the tax brackets that previously were at 6%, 5%, 4%, and 3% into one 3% bracket. The Senate version included a $1 billion rebate on 2021 state taxes. Wow. With rebates between $100 checks and $700 checks for state tax returns. Rebate checks. The 43% of South Carolina residents who do not pay state income tax will still receive $100 in tax rebate payments this year when they file taxes, which will amount to $116 million of the payments. So they're looking at potentially rebate checks from $100 to $700 for millions of people. Millions of people. Anyone set to pay up to $100 in taxes will receive the $100 rebate, and that rebate will grow along with the tax liability up to a cap of $700 per tax filing. It also includes recurring income tax cuts and would cut the state's top two tax tiers for tax year 2022, a plan that would cost $887 million annually. The conference committee will include House Majority Leader and all these different, people from the legislature. A bill will create educational savings account also has reached the conference committee, would allocate $75 million to pay for up to 5,000 vouchers for students to attend any approved private or public school in the state worth a maximum of $5,000 each, starting in 23 and 24 school year, and would be approved for 3 years. The Senate version allows for 5,000 scholarships and expanding to 10,000 scholarships and 15,000 scholarships for a couple school years coming up. That would be $7,140 in the first year, $7,500 in the next year, and cost $35 million. So a lot of different things in this package. Yeah, so I'll keep you up to date on that. Next up, the governor of Missouri, Parson, hints at a veto of the $500 checks that have been passed for Missouri, which would also be $1,000 for married couples. You can see here, these were just passed less than 2 weeks ago. Many Missourians can expect tax rebate checks up to $500 per person thanks to state surplus. So married couples, $1,000. This is a rebate part of a record-setting $49 billion state budget, pumped up with federal pandemic relief funds. But the governor says he might veto it. Interesting twist here. Here's why. Might not be why you expect. Governor Mike Parson is throwing cold water on a plan to give Missouri taxpayers a rebate check of up to $500 per person. In comments to reporters, the Republican governor vowed to look closely at the election year plan sent to him by lawmakers as part of the state's colossal $49 billion budget. That's to run the whole state. That $49 billion. I think there's going to be a lot of discussion about that, Parsons said. I think that was kind of put together in a pretty quick fashion. Under a plan first floated in the House and then adjusted and approved in the Senate, individual income filers would receive up to $500, while joint filers could expect to receive $1,000. Missourians eligible for the tax credit must have earned less than $150,000 and individuals $300,000. The state will credit taxpayers $1 back for every $1 paid in taxes, up to $500. The cost of the program is $500 million or $500 million, meaning the rebates could be prorated to a lower level if more than the total cost is claimed. Missourians who do not pay income taxes in 2021 would not be eligible. But Parson, who has the power to veto the program, raised concern about the income caps, suggesting someone earning $160,000 should not be left out of the rebates. Okay. Quote, I think anytime you're picking winners and losers about who gets I'm not even sure if it's a tax rebate, a tax bonus. Look, we've cut taxes twice since I've been governor of the state of Missouri, and we cut them for everybody. Missouri is flush with cash. Like I've been saying, all these states are flush with cash. Literally. Following the release of billions of dollars in federal pandemic aid and robust growth in its own tax revenues. When the House sent its budget to the Senate, it had a surplus of more than $1 billion. Rather than leave those dollars in the Treasury, they decided to spend them on an election year tax give back plan. You know, it's not really just an election year give back plan because all these states are doing it. All these states are doing it, right? Parson, however, is not running for re-election as he closes out his political career in the governor's office. I'm not sure doing something right now just to be able to take $500 million and just put it out there. What's the accountability there? Quote, I think if we're going to do something, probably what I would be calling the legislators to do is cut everyone's income tax. Make it fair across the board. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me know your thoughts here. Those $500 checks and $1,000 checks for married filing jointly couples could be at risk. Could be at risk. $500 million at risk. And if he vetoes it, well, who knows what'll happen. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. And really the problem here is that if he sends it back to the legislature, based on what he said, I really don't see him issuing larger checks. I mean, it's more like he's looking for tax cuts. Tax cuts do benefit people, but if you don't pay taxes, they don't benefit you. A lot of low income people don't pay taxes to begin with, so I don't know. It's a tricky situation. See, Republicans typically favor lowering taxes. Democrats typically favor giving checks back to the people. it's a sticky situation. It's a little bit of a varying policy difference. Um, you guys can tell me your thoughts here. Now, going forward, tax cuts, if they go forward for many years, if they're not one time, they can save people more money. But the problem here is that if they go forward for many years, sometimes states have to renegotiate those in the future, because if they're ongoing, it really depends on if the state's budget is ongoing, right? If the state can sustain those surpluses. We don't know how long states are going to have these surpluses for. So that's why a lot of states are saying give it a check back right now while they have surpluses, and then they give back. Honestly, most of these states are going to have enough money for at least another check or two, and I mean, really, they're just taking an unbelievable amount of money right now. So there's almost certainly going to be more checks here, maybe later this year or next year, almost certainly. And remember, each state kind of has a different philosophy on how they want to do this. They're doing tax cuts, stimulus checks, tax rebate checks. Some are doing property tax rebate checks or renters checks as well. And some are cutting their grocery taxes. Some are cutting their gas taxes. Some are doing additional state child tax credits as well. There's really a whole variety of different checks here. And then the federal government can do the same thing here as well. As President Biden has said, the government starting to take in a lot more money than normal here as well. President Biden has said that the government is going to be able to potentially pay down $1.5 trillion of national debt here over the course of the next year. So the government is going to be taking in a lot more money as well, just like these states are flush with cash because they're taking in more revenue because people are going back to work, unemployment is low, sales tax is up, income tax is up, revenues are up. On the state level, it's the exact same thing is happening on the federal level. So question is, what are they going to use their money for? How are they going to spend it? And can Congress come together and pass bills and do things for the people? So I will keep you up to date here with everything. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. After clicking the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live, which is every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest video next, or you can click here to see $3,200 checks that were just approved as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.